Okay, good to see everybody. Good work out here. I think you saw us get some third down and long work. Got some short yardage work. So all of it's been good. A lot of work down in the red zone as well. So really good day today. We got to finish off the week strong with our work tomorrow. And with that, I'll take any questions.
Kevin, you've said that you were comfortable with Deshaun as a person after looking into the allegations that have been made against him. You still stand by that as the more information has come out since then?
Yeah, I understand, Jake, the question. I think for me, I'm going to be respectful of the investigation, of the legal proceedings. I'm going to let that play out.
The 24th civil lawsuit that was filed, Watson's own attorney said they had no knowledge of this woman. Was that an allegation you guys, or an alleged incident you guys were aware that might have happened or alleged to have happened during your investigation?
Yeah, again, I can't add much. I'm going to let both the investigation and the legal proceedings play out.
Do you think the investigators should look into more stuff that you guys contracted to look into these situations?
Yeah, I think we kind of talked through that at the time, Jake, and I'll stand by what we said.
Is his standing with the Browns affected at all? I mean, you can answer to what the Browns' stance is. Is he still, your franchise quarterback? Any trepidation? Or is he still on solid ground with you guys?
Yeah, I think, Nate, we're here making sure that we get good practice in. The guys did a nice job out there today. I'm not going to comment past that. But, I think we got to be respectful of the process, be respectful of the legal proceedings.
The scope of this is expanded, though. It's gone from, in the 20s, we're talking about allegedly 66 women now. Was the team aware that the scope potentially could be as big as it has become?
I understand why you have to ask that, Darryl, but I'm just going to be respectful of the process and let it play out.
Can you say if this has been more difficult for either you or the organization because it's still an issue seemingly every day, every week?
Yeah, honestly, Scott, what you try to do here as coaches, players, is you focus on the work that you have when you walk in the door and really the stuff that's on the outside, we let that take care of itself.
Kevin, along those lines, though, are you prepared to have this hover over the team for potentially a season or two?
I think, Tom, with anything, we're trying to just focus on the day. I can't see past today, truly, so that's kind of where my focus is.
Along that line, though, since you don't know how long he might be suspended, Kevin, is Jacoby Brissett getting enough work that he could be your starter on opening day?
I think we're repping the quarterbacks appropriately right now, Jeff. As more information comes available, you may modify and adapt what you do, but for now, we're just making sure those guys are getting the work that they need.
If you know when you come back to training camp and you know a decision is made by the NFL, will that change your plans for training camp preparation?
I think it's a good question, Tony. I don't want to speculate, but obviously, if there's different information, we'll adjust to how we're doing things, yes.
Under the other quarterback, we've been informed that Baker was excused from minicamp.
Mm-hmm.
Right decision? Did you have any interaction with him?
Yeah, I mean, obviously that was a decision made between our organization, Baker, and Baker's team. Felt like that was the best decision for both sides.
What has your communication with him been like throughout this process? I know you and Andrew Berry have been very consistent in your messaging. It's very fluid, but just what has your communication been with Baker and then obviously reaching the ultimate decision to have him without penalty be able to just stay at home?
Yeah, I'm not going to get into my communication with the players, but just felt like that was the best decision for the organization and for Baker.
Kevin, when you watch Deshaun out here, what do you see in terms of his demeanor, his focus? Do you feel like he's completely locked in despite all the things swirling around?
I think for everybody, Mary Kay, you come to work and you got to work, and you have to make sure that you focus on your job and focus on the job that you have to do out there with the players. I think that's what he's doing.
It's the first time we saw Cade York's impressive leg. What did you think of him out there today?
Yeah, did a nice job today, Tony. He's done a nice job to date. He really has, both in the team settings. When they go down as a battery down there to First Energy, they've done a nice job. So he's just got to continue to grow and continue to get better.
Kevin, if Watson did get suspended, would there be any possibility at all that you would consider Baker Baker at quarterback moving forward?
Yeah, I'm not going to speculate on those type of things, Jake, but we're just going to deal with it day to day.
Kevin, is it frustrating at all? Like, we have to ask you these Deshaun Watson questions as part of our job week after week. The HBO show, lawsuit number 23, and now the most recent lawsuit, and New York Times story, 3 weeks in a row preceding our open OTAs. Is it frustrating on your end to face these questions repeatedly when the owners haven't talked and Deshaun hasn't talked since his introductory news conference?
No, I wouldn't characterize it that way, and I do understand that you have a job to do, so just going to provide as much information as I can when I can.
At this stage of the wind-up for the OTAs, are things more complicated for the players at this point?
From a schematic standpoint, yeah, they should be. Yes, we're adding more every single day and challenging them every single day on purpose. We're putting a lot on their plates, so you'll see it. Particularly the young guys will blow a fuse every once in a while, but we're challenging them. That's part of the off-season program. Part of what you should be doing in June is challenging your guys mentally.
I wanted to go back to your plans for minicamp to go to camp. Is that something you wanted to do for the past 2 years, 3 years that you haven't been able to do? Or what prompted taking the whole camp? Seeing rookies go there for the orientation, never a full team.
Definitely over the last couple of years have had different ideas on what we've been restricted. Just felt like this was the right time to get down there. We'll have our whole team here. Let's take everybody down there. So we have a nice program planned. I'll share more with you guys later on that. But I just think we're very, very fortunate here at the Cleveland Browns to have the Pro Football Hall of Fame right down the road. Not everybody has that, so we'd be foolish not to take advantage of it.
Did you hear some reaction from the players on that?
I'm sorry?
Did you hear some reaction from the players on that idea?
Not yet, Marla. We'll explain what we're doing down there. I think they like field trips, change of pace, so I'm sure they're excited.
As you put the wrap on OTAs this week, are you satisfied with the progress? Do you feel like as a team that you've accomplished what you set out to accomplish, or do you enter the mini camp phase here needing to squeeze something in that you wanted to?
So the way we look at the OTAs and minicamp, it's really just one big phase. You don't really change gears from OTAs to minicamp. Obviously, we're going to have a little bit different setting. So we'll be here on Tuesday, down in Canton on Wednesday, at the stadium on Thursday. So that will change. But by and large, we look at this off-season program as one big program, if you will. So we have work to do. There's a bunch of other stuff that we want to get installed to the players, get a rep on, bank some reps. So we have work to do. I think the players would tell you that they're getting better, but we're very, very far away. We got to continue to grind on it.
Do you feel like this is a team that has learned to deal with adversity since you showed up here on the doorstep? There's been COVID, there was the Odell saga last year, Baker, Deshaun. Do you feel like this is a resilient team that can handle this sort of thing?
I feel like that's really, Mary Kay, the NFL. You're going to go through things that you can't predict, and that's week in and week out. It's year in and year out, and we know that. So I think that is part of being a good football team, is being a resilient team and being able to, when you're down in the third quarter, go turn the game around. And when certain things come your way, injuries come your way, I do think you have to be a resilient bunch. I think you see examples of that across sports, really, even going into watching some of the NBA finals and seeing teams get behind and you got to go on a run and those type of things. So it's definitely part of a winning formula, is being a resilient bunch.
What differences have you seen in Anthony Schwartz this year, and just how much do you need him to take a big step?
Yeah, I've been really, really pleased with Anthony's development. He works hard. He's a dependable player. I think he's getting really good work in with the quarterbacks. But I do see Anthony taking a step. I've seen him take a step, I should say, from a young guy who we know was always smart, but becoming more comfortable in what he's doing, catching the football really well. So really excited about his development.
When your defense makes a play, everybody knows it. Just the energy that you've seen on that side of the ball, led by JJ3. I think this is the second or third week in a row where he's gotten a pick, and just what have you seen from that
yeah,
group?
it's outstanding. You got to play defensive football with passion, and I think those guys do it. And we always talk about, one of the rules of being a great teammate is celebrating with your teammates. So when a big play happens, we want to celebrate together. So that's something that you start on the practice field here, and hopefully take it into the fall.
Another Baker question, if you don't mind. When Baker asked to be traded, he gave a quote to ESPN where he said that he feels that the relationship is beyond repair. you see it that way?
Yeah, I'm not going to comment on that, Mary Kay. Just going to make sure that I deal with everything that we're, dealing with football, anything that's outside the building. Just deal with it day to day.
Last one here.
This has to be an interesting situation with the Deshaun Watson stuff. I'm curious how you deal with that adversity when dealing with other players, because it's putting them in interesting situations because we have a job to do. We have to talk to them, and that's something, they probably never dealt with as well.
Yeah, I understand the question. I think part of my job, and certainly our players' job, is to answer tough questions, and we're want to be respectful of that process and want to make sure we can add what we can add when we can.